Hello Commanders, Commander Placer here, and welcome to today's live stream. Hope everyone's doing very well today, you're all having a good weekend and you've had a lovely week so far. Weird time for a stream, right? This is like a pretty unusual time for me on a Saturday afternoon. But you know what, I've got the energy, I've got the voice, I've got some stuff that I need to test out, so here we are. Today we're going to be looking at Painite Mining, so Painite laser mining. Word on the street is that it pays pretty well at the moment. And again, another alternative to mining low temperature diamonds whilst also still being mining. But I figured we'd have a quick look at it and kind of see how things go. So I'm over here in the system, which is supposed to be the place to be doing it. We will see if that's going to work or not, I guess, and we will go from there. But yeah, it should be interesting. We've got to see what happens on that one. So good to see you've got in chat so far. So we've got ProRock, Mini, no, Kurakenji, Alan, Weejet, William, Haztec, another William, Marshall, Tenacious D, another weird bit someone, Spillcapes, am I winning? Winning, right? Quiz Engine, Tokoso, Lee. Yeah, Tokoso, I'm doing much better, Tom. I'm doing much better. It was I only really talk about stuff when it's pretty much over with. Because I feel like I don't like to moan when it's actually going on. I kind of wait until it's after. Because if you moan about something whilst it's still happening, it could just get worse. So, and then you look like an idiot. It's even worse than that. So, well, one thing I can guarantee, Alan, is that me being the biggest rival to live football broadcast is that there's going to be less annoying adverts. I would say so. I would think that would be the case. But yeah, I mean, we should hopefully just pick up tons, literal tons, and figurative tons of Painite. That's the hope. When we do this, it should be pretty quick and easy. I just need to quickly check my loadout before I take off, because wouldn't it be annoying if I didn't have a detailed surface scanner? Because guess what? I don't think I do. No, Tom, I didn't have birthday fried chicken. I went around to my parents for dinner, or lunch, and they cooked me some wonderful lasagna, garlic bread, had some salad, had tiramisu for some dessert, also got a birthday cake as well. Got some presents as well, which was very lovely. So my wife bought me 3 new Gundam model kits to build, and then my parents got me 2 as well, so I currently have 5 sat in my living room in boxes that need to be built. Which should be pretty good fun. I'm hoping that'll be a laugh. Because I have built, looks that shelf, 4 already, which pretty good. I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, pretty good fun. Colin been fighting in Sequoians. Perhaps I should too. Here's a thing, Colin. When you're the leader of a dictatorship, like me, you just dictate other people fight for you, so it's all right. Well, but apparently it's received a little bit of a buff with regards to payments. So when it comes to you able to get a decent price, highest price is currently 792,000 per ton. Also, the hotspots are apparently really good. Hashtag, thank you. Tenacious D, it was OP. I think it was perfectly justified on that one. Hi Minnie's mum, how you doing? Right, let's see. Right, I was going to outfitting. A rebalance is what happened, and it was required for low temperature diamonds. I won't have people saying that it's crap that FDO did it. I'm not really sure that you should be able to earn 400 million credits in an hour. It seems a bit daft. Seems a bit much. Now, let's have a little look at the in optional channels. Detailed surface scanner, I do have one. Thought I didn't. Oh, no, not tritium. Okay. And off we go. I'm doing alright, Minnie. Doing alright. Honestly, I don't think low temperature timers need a nerf. I think other stuff needs a buff. And yeah, WeJet, that is a bit crap. So we're back in the old... I brought my carrier out. This is actually a really, really close place to the bubble, so I didn't necessarily need to jump my carrier out, but you know what? I can pick what I want to do in advance, set it up, and then bugger off. So, you know. Terran Core, thank you very much. It's been a right birthday, a weird one, considering I've not been able to go out and do anything, which is really unusual, because normally my wife's birthday and mine are within 7 days of each other. Well, exactly 7 days apart. And what we typically do is we go and we do something. Like, we go and try and do something cool. You know, that's typically the idea behind it. And you know, like 1 year we went and stayed overnight at London Zoo, and we got to stay in the Gear Lion Lodge, and they'd give you dinner, and you get to feed a bunch of animals. Like a couple of years ago, went to go see the Foo Fighters. So you know, we've got a lot of stuff. But then this year couldn't do it, which was a bit of a weird one. But that's life. Oh, it's the scan the wrong ring. Off we go. House tech, yeah, 100%. I mean, if it's just going to sit there, I'm losing money, aren't I? You know. Jabberwocky, thank you very much. Lee, it's pretty cheeky coming from you. I mean, how old are you, Lee? No, Minnie, I am 36. The big 36. Well, thanks, Bert. I appreciate it. Painite hotspot. I just need to know which one's the overlap, really. No, I need to get further away from the planet to work this out. It's the joy. It's you know, people are always. If you're older than me now, you'll always be older than me. So at least there's always that. But yeah, it's been an interesting one, but not bad. Oh, that was much louder than I was expecting it to be in my ears. Alright, let's see where we are. Saying I'm an old man now. 35 I wasn't, 36 I am. Is that it there? Painite, Centibite, Painite. Yeah, I think that must be the one. Not you. No, not you.
Hello there.
Yeah, that should be one. Tom, dude, thank you very much. Really appreciate it, mate. Oh, I would love to be in Cornwall now. With the weather being like how it is. Oh, so much. It's that I just want to be wearing a wetsuit in the water with a surfboard. Really, bodyboard, surfboard. Yeah. Well, Lee, I'll be happy if I hit 40. with my situation being what it is. Yeah, Minnie, I am in a different system. I am in GCRV 1568. And this is a very strong double hotspot. Because you've got Painite, and it's literally, if I drop into the, pretty much, I don't know, I don't need to be that far in the middle, do I? Like, there's that one, like, just in between the two, and then start working my way towards one of them. That should be good. Nope, not the Hades sector. But yeah, I'm just going to drop in between the two of them, and that's a super bright spot. So see how that works out. Yeah, the top sale price at the moment for Painite is 792,000. People have seen it up to 900,000, so could be lucrative. Doop. Alright, let's get ourselves night vision on, I think, because it's a little bit dark here. It's not super bright. And we will pick a Painite hotspot to work towards. I'm not sure if this is the right one. The right hotspot? It should be good. Give it a go. And Haseki hit 50 in September. Oof. Alright, Minnie. Take care, bud. We also seem pretty pirate-free as well, which is good. 52 is year older than Drew Wagar. He used to play the first Elite. Honestly, I'd never heard of the Elite franchise until Elite Dangerous. Never heard of it. Just one of those things where I hadn't, and really glad I did. It was kind of the reason I actually upgraded my computer in the first place, to be able to play it.
Hello there.
Painite 25%, not bad. Nightbot, dude, thank you so much. Go towards the Brewdog birthday beverages, yeah. Again, so there's like two places I want to be, really, at the moment. And I want to be in Brewdog with everyone, hanging out, having a good time, and also Cornwall all at the same time. But if only. If only. Okay, got System Authority. It's cool. Well, I guess we're going to start mining this one. It's not a super one. I probably shouldn't bother. But we'll give it a go. Also, I've actually bothered to swap out my power distributor for one that's actually engineered now. So we should do a much better job. We have to worry about heat, and that's it. Which is alright. Oh, blimey. Flares. Now, obviously, for me, bootcut jeans were a thing when I was growing up. Everyone was like, oh yeah, could have or super baggy jeans. The baggier the better. You can't have them baggy enough. It was that kind of thing. And honestly, I'm glad it wore off. But I'm happy with 200. I mean, I was looking back to some of my older videos recently, and what was pretty mental is the fact that it was 80 million at one point was a lot. Like, at what point did we decide that that was ridiculous, you know? And they were the things that got nerfed as time went on. And now we're here and we're like, oh no, you know, we need 400, we need 500, we need, 200 still, still not enough, and all this kind of stuff. It's a bit of like oh well, when did that happen? When did we decide that that wasn't enough? Picard, thank you very much. I'm happy to have had it. The thing is, like, money in Elite Dangerous credits are an enabler. That's all they are. They're not the gameplay as such. Because you've still got engineering to consider and to work on. And not only do you have engineering to work on, but then you have got the fact you might want to get your name on some on some planets, get your engineering in, and you might work towards a carrier, and then once you've got a carrier, you can go and do some more stuff. There's different ships to fly, all this kind of stuff. So it isn't just the be-all and end-all. And the number of credits in your balance aren't your score in Elite Dangerous, you know? It's, I don't know, I think 200's alright. That's totally fine, but yeah, I don't think, I'm not sure 100's quite enough now that we have carriers. Or there should be some gameplay element where because you have a carrier, it will enable you to do more. Maybe. I don't know. Something like that. It's one of these things. Shaggy boy, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. This one's probably a little bit far away, to be honest. I'm probably going... No, I'm moving it really in the wrong direction. I know it's 27%, but it's probably not worth it. And I think that's what we've just mined.
Hello there.
Rustin, oh, thank you. What system am I in? I am in... catchy little name, GCRV 1658. The problem is that again, carriers are a tool, potentially an enabler. Shaggy boy, thank you very much for the follow. But yeah, again, carriers, because they are bought with credits, become an enabler, and their additional gameplay is something to do. So, you know, I'm particularly, I'm enjoying having one because it's so much easier, and I think I'm going to be spoilt because of it. But you know what? I'm okay with being spoilt. It's great. Ali, I'm in private group. Rick, what are my specs? They're actually down in the description of the stream. But I've got a 2080 Super, 3900, well, Ryzen 3900X, 32 gigs RAM. That's the important bits. Right, now, next rock. But yeah, I'm tuning through rocks quite nicely. It's quite nice having a proper power distributor now on this, and to be honest, I spent far too long not having a proper... Oh. Let's not waste our time there. 7%, it's not enough. Collect this out. Yeah, the thing is that it's the only thing I've spent money on in the last 2 years. It's one of these things. I kind of obviously found out about the cancer not going too great, and then I just kind of shut myself down. Didn't go out. Didn't do much. Didn't want to spend money on anything because I didn't consider it a good investment. Like I figured the money would be more useful for something else later on down the line, and then I carried on going. Now, why would we lose all those limpets? Am I sat directly on top of a rock? Yes. That's tons of Painite fragments. So yeah, I just decided that it was time to get myself something nice. It was good. Oh, this isn't supposed to happen anymore. This here, watching limpets bounce off of rocks, not supposed to happen. Freaky Deaky Dude, have I tried it? No. There you go. I'm aware of it. It doesn't interest me. I'd rather things were done in a legit way, where possible. Right, oh yeah. Let's go around here. This will have a dreadful effect on our monies. But yeah, the 25 kilometer exploit, in case anyone doesn't know, is that you can basically park up your ship that you're doing your mining with in front of a rock that's really good. You take your ship launch fighter out 25k. Oh yeah, it's really important that you turn your ship's engines off. Then you take your fighter off, you go 25k. How are we losing so many limpets here? Alright, it's not worth it anymore to sit in front of that rock. Let's keep moving. That seems to have a lot of materials there in it. Let's check this one. But yeah, you know, you go off and you do that, and then you basically teleport us back and forth into your ship, remine the rock, and it resets it. It's a bit naff, isn't it? Muddy Funster, there is one out there. I did a video called How to Outfit for Mining. I think I did that. Yeah. I just don't think it's naff. You know, that's my thing with it. Is that I understand that some people might want to do it. I don't. But it's kind of like if you get on a really good rock, then you're away. But yeah, I'm trying not to go for anything that's below 20% if I can. Hey Sinclair, how you doing? That's a nice little Painite one. Slow rotating, decent amount, and away we go. Mining with mining lances is actually a good idea because of the range on them. To be honest, I'm still signed up to someone for power play and have been for well over a year, and I honestly don't know how. I don't know even what I was going to be saving up for. Rustin, how many tons do I have so far? Let's have a look after this one. 26 tons. Yeah, Sinclair, I'm doing pretty good with the old voice. It's side effects from medication has worn off slightly, which is nice. Which is always good. I mean, in hindsight, maybe I should have brought an abrasion blaster too, just in case. Chris, I'm not doing it because I'm testing something else out. That's all. I'm always like trying to do different stuff if I can, rather than do the same thing over and over again. But yeah, I mean, I heard reports that this is now sitting at about 200, no, maybe almost 300 mil. But it all depends on the BGS and the pricing. So we're now up to 35 tons. That's good. That was good tonnage. But yeah, Painite. If I can find a decent place to sell, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically stock up my carrier with a bunch or wait for a decent price, because I'm not chasing money and it's a really, really nice position to be in. So it's kind of more of a, oh, I can take my time, I can do a bit of this, a bit of that, and then when a decent price comes up, go and get my sell on. But yeah, with Painite rocks, you don't have the same kind of limit like you do for low temperature diamonds. For your laser mining anyway. I mean, I don't know, Pro Rock. I don't know about that. I mean, it's pretty broken if you can get way more, but that said, really when you think about it, when you get to that point, Spatula, I'll come on to you in a minute, you get to this stage where you need to have a balance of fun gameplay, and yeah, I guess skill-based gameplay should score you more credits. You know, you should get more money from subsurface deposits than you should do when it comes to just strip mining. It makes sense. Definitely makes sense. I just need to balance it. I would say other stuff needs a buff. Now, Spatula, moving on to you. Bio-waste runs were the meta for quite a long time. It's the exact reason why people went to Seos and Sothis was to do those bio-waste runs. Back to the bubble. In a cutter. That's where it was back when the cutter was the only way to transport decent amounts of cargo, and the Type 9 was pre-buff. Republic of William, no. The pulse wave analyzer is actually only good, in my experience, for cores. They do help with subsurface as well, definitely, but you do miss out on potentially some quite good rocks by not just scanning everything. Which is a weird place to be in, I feel like, for mining. It's Rubigo smuggling was the best. It was when you used to do ship tours with Rubigo slaves, where you could take all the missions, dump all the missions, keep all of the all the slaves, and then sell them back to the station for a profit, and would boost your reputation at the same time. Now that was epic, and that stayed in for a really long time. That was a special one. Muddy Funster, engineered on the Type 9 is the power distributor, and I think that's it, actually, on this one. Have a quick look. I might have done the... Okay, power distributor, frame shift drive, and sensors. Probably really should have done thrusters too. But I didn't strip them off my Corvette, because that's what I typically use, is I use my Corvette thrusters on it instead. But yeah, back in the day, there's been so many interesting ways of making credits. And now we've just got mining, and it's been mining for over a year. Oh, Spatula, a brown tea on your head because you smuggled so much bio-waste. Dude. But yeah, ideally you'd want to engineer your thrusters too. Power distributor, you'd probably want to go weapon charged. That's what I'd say, weapon enhanced for your power distributor and super conduits. I want to say super conduits. I think it's the right one. Is that what it's called? But yeah. Okay. Hunter, yeah man, here I am. If you can get a new keyboard, Hunter, make sure you check out my affiliate link for overclockers down in the stream description. Because, you know, why should play to get away his beak? Oh, but I'm using the X52 Pro. That is my chosen HOTAS. I do love HOTAS. I was really dubious about it. Like, I didn't know how I'd feel about having a HOTAS, and then I got it, and I'm like, oh my goodness, game changer. And the X52 Pro for me is absolutely perfect. It's got big hands, so it's the right size. I can reach everything without having to stretch. Bertrandite, rubbish. You went T16000. I'm not a huge fan of the T16000 for one reason and one reason only. And that was because when I went to the Frontier Expo in 2017, I was one of their invited streamers, and I got to stream from their place, and from their streaming booth, and they all had T16000Ms because Thrustmaster was there to represent, on the show floor, and it was it ruined 2 streams by being strange in the way that it worked. So I say strange. It wasn't particularly conducive to a good stream. I feel like I've probably already prospected this one, but here we go. But that is just personal preference. I did have the T-Flight before that, which is of course Thrustmaster, and I loved that. I still have it. In fact, if someone wants it, I was going to give it away and be like, some of the buttons are rubbed off a touch, but it's free. I'll post it to you. But yeah, I was thinking of doing that, just to, one, it gets rid of it and it goes to a good home. For this year, the 56, everyone sold out. As are they? I think at the moment it's an interesting time for hardware and computers and all that kind of stuff, and because a lot of people are taking up hobbies indoors because of the COVID-19 situation. Like, for example, I've got really into the Gundam, and I was picking up master grades left, right and centre, and then as the lockdown's gone on further, there's less been available, and I'm like, suddenly my options got low. So yeah. Christopher saying use Warthog and pedals here, can't use anything else now. Yeah, I mean, it's a classic thing, isn't it? You kind of, you get used to what you've got. I don't think I could do pedals. I can see how. Obviously the Warthog doesn't have a twist, does it? So you have to have something to make up for that. And also, I mean, to be fair, if you've got the space, go for it. Unfortunately, Thrustmaster only offered to send me the T16000 and not the Warthog. I almost got them to send me one. It was close. I think they then went and looked at my channel and were like, not quite big enough. I'm like, damn it! And that was then. I imagine if you got used to not having a twist, then you'd get used. You would get used to it. Painite numbers, Hunter. Right, I'm currently on 54 tons of painite. Been streaming for 36 minutes. Sells for 792k per ton. If someone wants to math that for me, you're more than welcome to. But it's an alternative. It's literally that. But when it sells for 900,000, which you can do, and I'm not being particularly efficient either, because when I test these things and I'm streaming at the same time, I try not to be kind of full out or full on with the I need to be super efficient and be proper sweaty palm try hard, because the chances are you're going to be hanging out at home when you're doing it, so take your time. William, yeah, there is. Well, there's a website you can use. It's called, I'll post it in chat actually. edtools.ddns.net.miner, and then you put in where you are, and then hit Painite or low temperature diamonds, and it will find the nearest place to you. The X56 does have a twist, as does the X52. Yeah, that's a good sign. It tells you where to sell as well. So it tells you the best price, and also the kind of gives you a potential loop to go for as well. So it won't necessarily tell you the highest place to sell, but it will tell you the closest place to sell to be more efficient. John looks, what is Painite versus LTD, and can you do subsurface mining? I'm just doing strip mining for Painite. I don't know how good the subsurface would be. That's something for you to check at a different time. I think it's an interesting thing to look at, but I don't know how good it is. So it depends how much we get out. You know what? I'm going to think about that. That's going to be popped in. Painite is comparable to low temperature diamonds, but only when the sell price is maxed out at 920,000 per ton. Currently it's only 792, so it's a bit of a thing to consider. I haven't seen any yet, I guess, is my answer to that. I don't want to give you guys incorrect information or make anything up. So to sound smart, I'm happy to admit I don't know. You'd think it would. What we can do is we can get some stuff doing this anyway, and then I've got my Python that is equipped for subsurface on my carrier, which is parked really close by. We'll do that. Red Raven, kinda. They've improved a bit. Also, that said, I did lose quite a few earlier. Frontier have also improved that the chunks that you mine off shouldn't, and I do mean shouldn't, drop inside asteroids anymore. But obviously nothing is perfect. We will see. So there are improvements coming along, but you know, where would you be with? Oh, okay. There's some subsurface. Okay, right. We have some subsurface deposits on this rock, which, so, of course, I'm going to find out what they are now. Am I? Yeah. We'll come back to that. But I would be really disappointed if we didn't. Hey David, how you doing? Yeah, I'd be really disappointed if we didn't get extra ships with Odyssey. It seems like a really logical time for us to get them. Really logical. Will we? Dunno. Be cool. I'm still desperate. I say desperate, that's a really strong word. I would like to see, that's more accurate, more hybrid Guardian ships. Definitely. Because you've got this whole kind of... We've got the Trident, the Glaive, and the other one. Trident, Glaive, other one. It happens every time. I go blank. But yeah, we've got them. And they are not... They're not like... They're labelled as numbers, right? And they don't start on number 1. I think they start on, what, 5 and 6? 5, 6 and 7? Or 6, 7, 8? Something like that? The Javelin. Thank you, Alan. Where are the others? Like, where are the other numbers? You know? It's a perfect thing to put in. Okay, I think it was this rock that had subsurface. So let's see what it's got. The Lance. Javelin. Javelin, Lance, Trident, Glaive. Where'd I get Glaive from? Because there's not 4, is there? There's 3. But yeah, anyway. Where are these other... Okay, it wasn't that one that had subsurface. I think it's this one right behind me. Is it this one? Or that... Oh, every rock looks the same. No, we'll keep going. Alan, yeah, I do try. It helps if you can find the angle of rotation, so you find the axis. And then you focus on that. So that's something I'm really bad at. I get annoyed with it. John, yeah, you do, and it's also worth about half as much. So you you have this either collected twice as fast, or we go a little bit slower. It's that kind of thing. It's that'll do. Panther Clipper. Oh no, don't say the Panther Clipper. It's the don't say that. Not the Panther. I want something better. I don't want another big ship that's going to haul cargo. We've just had carriers. I would rather have another large ship, another one for combat would be good. One that's built specifically for exploration would be nice, or a series of ships specifically for that, or something that's actually going to be proper competitive in the PvP meta for medium ships, because everyone, I say everyone, that's a straw man thing to say, lots of people still just fly the FDL because the way it handles, and also it's hardpoint config and all that kind of stuff, and there really should be some other options. So I can't want that to happen. I really like options, lots of options. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that where I would like to have more options. Never take away, but take what we have and increase your options that you can pick. See, Tom, you're asking for completely new gameplay at that point, which is kind of different. And I think WeJet, you're right at this point. The Panther Clipper is very much it's the white whale. And of course, but I don't just mean a reskin of the FDL. Something that would compete. And also purpose-made mining ships would be nice. I would like to see. I'd definitely like to see a ship that's made to be really, really manoeuvrable, not fast on a straight line, but designed to dance around rocks. Like really, really designed to dance around rocks. So you can grab stuff really easily. That kind of a rock hopper. Oh my god, call it the rock hopper! Where you've got a cargo bay, or your cargo scoopers at the front, hard points around it, and your limpet just going back and forth in a straight line rather than having to go back up underneath your ship. Something custom built, or like I say, a series of ships custom built for mining, or a series of ships custom built for all that stuff. Snappo, thank you, man. I keep saying it was great to have one. It was great to have a birthday. It was the second one that I wasn't necessarily expecting to have, which is cool. I'm okay with Elite being its own game. I like the seriousness of Elite. No Man's Sky, I want to like. I want to like No Man's Sky, and when I play it, I want to like it, and I want to enjoy it, but then it's just the colour palette. It's ever so slightly washed out to me, and it gives me a headache. Jeets, good day. How do you do? The ability to make your own ships? No. Nah. Nah. Don't need that. None of that. I don't think so. Also, there's the cartoony gameplay. I'm not a huge fan of the graphically speaking. I'm trying to be polite about it. That I struggle to see with the what to do. I know. Yeah, I know you can follow the storyline and the pathing and all that kind of stuff, but then you're doing that, and then I feel like I'm missing out on other stuff at the same time. Oh, it's me. It's me. It's pretty not my type of game. That's right. Yeah, build it. It's not an issue, I don't think. Yeah, I would love to have a think about, if we're talking about mining ships for a minute, right? Imagine something that has a similar shape to like a giant crab. It's going to sound like a really weird way of describing it. And you descend it onto a rock. It doesn't necessarily have to hold still on it. Maybe it could. Maybe it would start and drop into a geosynchronous orbit around this rock. It would latch onto it, and then it would fire its lasers down. And in the middle, where everything's being broken off, is just where your limpets are being collected. And it kind of does that weird little nommy thing. And eats it up. That'd be cool. That's one of my... I think that would be really cool. I understand that wouldn't necessarily be elite at that point, but it'd be cool. I mean, more SRVs would be lovable. I don't think there's a single person that doesn't want a new SRV. I haven't met anyone who's gone, you know, Elite Dangerous has too many SRVs. I don't think anyone's ever said that, so I'd say yeah, need that. Well, hopefully, Alan, Odyssey will fix it. I hope so. 19% Painite. See, they're all things that I want. I would want an actual combat SRV. So the thing about SRVs is that the SRV is called a Scarab. And if it's called a Scarab, and it's given a particular name, means there must be more than one model, or there should be more than one model. Otherwise, we would just have cars. You know, you wouldn't have your Ford Focus. You wouldn't have your Cadillac. You know, you'd just have a car, and that's all it would be, is a car. And I think that's the thing about the Scarab. The Scarab is an SRV, but it can't be the only one. And if you want to overthink stuff and point flaws and things, then that's where we end up. Oh, it's 20%. I'll do it. Tenacious D, there you go. Look. Pre-existing law. We can use it. The Mako. Oh my god, the Mako. The Mako, the most indestructible vehicle that has ever been created in any sci-fi franchise. The thing is, it doesn't look a lot like a Scarab, does it? But you say the SRV is called the Scarab simply because of its shape. Cool. Other shapes then, please. That's my thoughts. Oh, see, I use the SRV with the HOTAS, and I don't think it's that bad. I think it's right. Alan, do I think a subscription business model would motivate the dev to put more effort into the game? No, I think it would put people off playing. That's what I think it would do. But I also want a tank. I've also said that what I really want is I want plasma repeaters scaled up and large enough to put on my Corvette. That's what I want. And I think that would be freaking epic. But yeah, I don't like changing controls, and I wouldn't want to, because for a while I did have the mouse set to my turret control when in turret mode, and actually I really didn't like that. What I'm thinking, Nightbot, is I'm thinking more like the PPCs it is, from the Expanse, that kind of thing. I mean, and I get we're in a very different sci-fi franchise. But yeah, definitely there's some options. Yeah, class 4 railguns would be lovely. But again, I mean, when I first started playing, you couldn't get huge multis. So you had, but they don't just use point defense turrets, and not every ship has a railgun either. Like the Rocinante doesn't start off with a railgun; they have it added in a later season. Whilst I am a huge fan of mech suits, Nightbot, I don't think I could do it. PDC, point defense cannon. Okay, right, there we go. Thank you, Red Raven. Because I've got PPC, which is particle pulse cannon, which is it particle? No, plasma pulse cannon from Mech Warrior. But yeah, so these torps, and the torps are highly effective. Oh yeah, because the big ships do. Oh, hey Kai, how you doing? Shields are weird. I mean, I guess that was the thing with Star Trek Enterprise. They didn't have shields, they just polarized the hull plating, which is a bit like, okay. Yeah, there you go. Particle projection cannon. Red Raven in. But yeah, PPCs and Mech Warrior. I used to use them with Gauss all the time. So I'd use Gauss and PPCs combined. You'd have to manage your heat, but when you were on target, you were on target. It would be it'd hit like an absolute train. Has anyone played the series of games Armored Core? Now, if you played the Armored Core, they have shields in it, but they're made from basically a type of particle, energy particle that is basically surrounds the core or the mechs in it, and they're super damaging to the environment. There's a bit of a okay, AC4, cool, because I play Armored Core 3, Armored Core 4 and Armored Core for Answer. They're the ones that I played on the 360 and loved them, massively loved them. And I've kind of had a little look at the spiritual successor of it, which is the Demon Ex Machina. Looks right. But yeah, they've got the shields on them. I can't remember what they're called, but I think they used Kojima particles, was it? As the armor, or primal armor, as it was called, and it would get blown away. But as part of it being damaged and ejected, it was super bad for the atmosphere and the Earth. And it's one of the things that caused the Earth to be near to uninhabitable at ground level. So there's kind of like some lore and some damage behind it, and they found a way of getting these particles to just kind of like focus up using an energy field, like magnetism almost. I was like, oh, that's a cool idea. It's a way. Kai, so you're saying that I'm mining Painite instead of shenanigans? Well, I'm just keeping it cool, man. Keeping it cool, focusing on stuff, knowing that nothing can be done for the Dark Wheel at the moment as well, because of the pending expansion. I do love it when you run over your prospectors, though. That always makes me happy. But yeah, I was just having a chilled out. Ah, rubbish. Just having a chilled out one today, which is quite nice. And yeah, it's really not my usual streaming time, except for when we do the Super Friendos. Oh, 20 exploit stuff. Oh, do you mean the daft SLF stuff, which I'm not into? The important thing is that it goes to as long as it pens the expansion, it's all good. But have I done PvP pirating? Right. I tried it. And no one surrendered. Like, I tried to do it just by intimidation. I had one person ram into me and kill themselves. Which is a bit weird. But no, not very successful go of it. Dragon Spike. Crash my ship into the asteroids. Why? Why do? Okay, how many tons are we up to so far? 143 tons. 1 hour. Of chilled mining. I'm not boosting to rocks. I'm not, because what I should really do is pull my cargo scoop in between rocks, boost to the next one, and keep doing the same thing. That would be more efficient. Not what I'm doing. I'm being chill. You know what, Kai? I haven't mentioned it at all. If people do fancy hitting the like button on YouTube, it would be cool. You don't have to though. It'd be cool if you did. I promise it won't hurt. And if you do get hurt, I am not liable for it, just so we know. Oh, it's not quite close enough. Okay. But that could be weird. I mean, I'm going to assume you've watched some Elite Dangerous content at some point. Which is probably why I pop up. I'm one of the older, I say older as in like been doing it for longest, Elite Dangerous YouTubers. I was really inconsistent. But yeah, I'm like one of the not original, I guess. But I've been doing it for years. I'm just super inconsistent. Life has a funny habit of getting in the way. Veteran in my soiled spacesuit. It's not soiled. I've cleaned it. What are you talking about? It's a gold one. Oh gee, yeah, I guess that. I'm pretty inconsistent. Dragon Spike. No, you can't. Not yet. But you know what? I've also bet it's good to have you along. Has Nightbot that does the links fallen asleep? He has, hasn't he? Hang on, let's fix that. We can straight up fix that. Because we can't be having stuff not working. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing stuff not working right now. Let's fix it. I think I've just... Oh, yeah, it's disconnected it. Yeah, that's good. Nightbot just casually decided to disconnect itself. Classic. Anyone else can join, though. Yeah, the Zencast started quite a while ago. Obviously, life has really changed a lot of stuff. So we've got some of the best memes. Oh, I kind of wish we weren't known for that. I'd rather be known for having some of the best cool people around to hang out and chat with. Yeah, and that's the best part. Well, I think we had it around first. I'm gonna say it. I mean, we've been going for quite a while. But it's because our faction is called the Seekers of Zen. Well, not our faction. Our squadron is called the Seekers of Zen. And Ployd stands for the present leader of independent dictatorship, which is because our faction is an independent dictatorship. So, the Ployd, being the present leader, is, well, he's me, and he's a total scumbag. Oh look, Nightbot's woken up. Hooray! Good news. Yeah, time travel. Oh god, if I had. If I had. The world would tremble. No, but no, we are not. I said we're a dictatorship. It's all very complicated, and honestly, as the actual dictator and leader, I do very little in the admin work myself. I've hired other people to do that. I make a point of being aloof when it comes to it, and being like, oh no, I don't, oh no, why are you bothering me with that? or ask you questions, and then when you're answering, I actually really don't care, and I move on. That's what that's... well, not me. Sorry, that's the Ploid that does that. Alan, I can only imagine what that is like. But it would make a lot of sense. Yep. A benevolent dictator? I don't know if I'm that benevolent. I'll try. Well, here's the thing. I don't need to do any of that. Yeah, a little bit of a cult, more like it. I think that's the way. It's and when we do cult, we mostly cult at night, mostly. Again, one of our running jokes. Oh, where are my collectors going? It's never good when your collectors go and you see them exploding. Are we firing a limpet? I can't, there's too much stuff. Oh, Nightbot, unfortunately it's deployed. Oh, hey Vortex, how you doing, mate? A little bit of a barbecue. And does that mean you set someone on fire a little bit? I mean, just saying. No, can you get a Ploid decal that's just a picture of Clive? No. Guy, if I were to do an interview as the Ploid, it would be pretty hilarious. And there was a reason why my carrier is called the Battle Cat. I always say that he's named after my cat Clive, because he's a very poorly cat at the moment. He's the heat really hasn't got on very well with him and his heart condition. But he's on kind of like 3 different medications every single day to keep him going and keep him happy. So he's a poor little fella. Turgeon would be a good interviewer for the Ploid. Well, Turjana being the celebrity TV host. But there is a video from Turgeon Starstone out there where he takes the Ploid out. It has to carry out a mission for him, and the Ploid just sasses him the whole way through. Alright, Bert, take care, man. It's been lovely having you along too. And thank you. David, it is in the bubble. It's a populated system. Oh, well, I can fix that as well, Vortex. I'm hoping I can fix that as well. Because I have also... Oh, we just did the old... Let's log back in with Twitch for a minute. Yeah, it's... Cool, there we go, it should be working now. It's just not logged into the website for a while. Vortex, pretty decent. Freaky Deaky Dude, yeah, Battle Cat was in He-Man. Spot on. That's what Cringer turned into when Prince Adam transformed into He-Man. And Clive being a tabby, he's got the stripes. He's not green and yellow though. I mean, this one's 50% Vortex, which is pretty good. Tonnage wise, I'm up to 176. Although we have had some messing around from me, so it doesn't feel bad. I mean, 2 hours I should have a full load, I think. We do D. There is not a Coriolis link for my mining ship because I am notorious for not bothering to use Coriolis. I get ideas in my head and then I make them, and I never part out the whole ship. So, I'm like the slapdash YouTuber slash streamer. I'm a nightmare. Yeah, Vortex. I'm going to hold out until I can get a really good price. So I'm just going to bung it in the carrier and hope for the best. Well, Kai, here's the thing. Like, Skeletor was just as tough as He-Man without having to have the power of Grayskull. And yeah, Skeletor did. He had a Purple Panther. I think I did make a build video. Yeah, Vortex, I do have a build video, you're right. On YouTube, I do have a build video. And I'm pretty sure I've got it pathed out somewhere in one of my... If you search for the 200 million per hour, you'll definitely find it on my channel. No, Battlecat isn't from Thundercats. You'd think it would be, but it's not. It's a little bit on the nose when it comes to Thundercats, I think. Where did he have all this? No, only his head. Because old Keldor, that was his name, Keldor, he was dropped into a vat of acid. That was the kind of idea. It was splashed in his face and then it ate away his face. That's what happened, so his name was actually Keldor. I mean, to be honest, I could do with one of those muscle suits. Which, interesting fact, that advert, where it's like the "You're so moneysupermarket.com", I am available for sponsorship, Money Supermarket, if you want to get involved. Yeah, they were water-cooled suits because they were that thick rubber. They're like fully water-cooled, stop the actors from overheating in it. Okay, it's an interesting fact. Hey, alright, there's a semi-interesting fact. Yep. Yeah, cartoon style action figures. I mean, Transformers though. Transformers was like a... That was really my jam, if I'm honest. That was... Transformers G1, that was my childhood. Big time. I seem to hit a dry patch. Never really watched G.I. Joe. Brothers did. I think it was slightly before them. Slightly before me, should I say. Yeah, G1, not Beast Wars. I did like Beast Wars though. Although I didn't understand why he was Optimus Primal before he got turned into a gorilla. Didn't make any sense whatsoever. And him saying, "That's Prime," all the time. It's like, look, mate, we get it. We get it, you're Optimus Prime. It'd be like me saying, well, everything's just coming up plates. It doesn't make any sense. Prime doesn't necessarily mean good, apart from if you're talking about prime rib. But it doesn't necessarily mean that everything's good. Well, isn't that great? It's not the same. But yeah, I could do it. Right, so there are some things as part of the lockdown that I am really, really missing. And one is hanging out with people. Two is just being able to get up and go to pop to the shops and grab something if you need it. Three, which is the big one, eating out. Not having to cook. I'm desperate for I'm desperate for a really, really good burger. That's what I'm desperate for. And some prime rib would also be excellent. Now I've said that out loud. Centurions, I do remember it. I do. I also remember King Arthur and the Knights of Justice. Renan, I miss being able to just go out. Like, in particular, there's like a particular burger that I want more than any, and it's Brewdog in Tower Hill. That I want to go there. I want to go there with my friends and have burgers, hot wings, and fries, with a pint of Lost Lager from Brewdog, and just be like, have the ultimate chill out. That's what I want. And I tell you what, when the lockdown ends, we're doing it as a community. As the Zen cast, the Seekers of Zen, we're doing it. A pint or 10? No, I don't know if I can do 10. How many burgers did Vortex claim? Adopted. He adopted. I think it was pizza this time round. We call it PloidCon. We've been having it would be our second one. Which the only way to know about is to join our Discord. I know what's good. Nightbot, that's what it is. I know what's good. The Patriot Burger, no pickles, delicious. And their wings they have as well are absolutely fantastic. Torture. Torturing myself. But yeah, that's probably like there. It's one of the places like where I just want to go because I have nothing but good memories about going to the place. So. Alan, you've done something I've never done there. Oh yeah, and the chicken and waffles for breakfast. Actually, PloidCon 3 is going to be called The Search for Beer. Because we had PloidCon 1, or just PloidCon. PloidCon 2, The Drunkening, and then PloidCon 3 would be The Search for Beer. Renan, which of these have the best opening theme? Gummy Bears, Bucky O'Hare, or Galaxy High?
Hello there.
Ooh. Haztech, dude, thank you so much. Much appreciated, dude. Genuinely, thank you. I'm gonna go Bucky O'Hare. But Galaxy High was better as a TV show, which could be controversial. Don't know how people are going to feel about that, but I've said it now. It's but yeah, I say Bucky O'Hare, best theme tune, Galaxy High, better show. I'm sure that's gonna be a controversial answer. I'll watch my sub count drop and everyone hit the dislike button for me saying that. Jason of Wheeled Warriors. That actually was really good. Yeah, that was a very good opening. Oh, Ulysses 31 though. Am I right? Because Ulysses 31 is fantastic. Oh, okay, right, this is Subsurface. Okay, so you can get Subsurface Painite. You're all pleased to know. I have no idea what you're talking about there. Yeah, Ulysses 31. Good. And it was a great little storyline as well. Yeah. Plus he had a laser sword that was also a blaster at the same time. So there is that. It's the idea of it and his jetpack and all that kind of stuff. Very cool. Very a little bit before its time in sci-fi themes, I think. I mean, the idea of recreating Greek mythology in space. Pretty smart. Now, I'm not 215. I feel like I've slowed down a bit. I've entered into... I think I dropped too near the gap, because there was a gap where the rocks really weren't that dense. I think I dropped in the wrong spot. Chippendale. I mean, Chippendale, Rescue Rangers. Yeah. And DuckTales, of course. Yeah, I don't need to sing that, everyone knows that. Yeah, cluster to cluster of rocks. Be the best way to do it. Raccoons was terrifying. Yeah, what the hell? What the hell was Cyril Sneer? What was he meant to be? That's the thing that gets me. Like, what even is that? That's what I struggle with. Like, what are you? An aardvark? Are they meant to be aardvarks? Are aardvarks known for destroying the environment and being evil towards raccoons and forest animals? Is that kind of like, okay? There's just so many questions about it, like looking back as an adult. And I don't know if I can handle that kind of... And pink, yeah. Pink aardvarks. No, they couldn't have been aardvarks. Hang on, right. What was Cyril's near supposed to be? Cyril is an aardvark. He's meant to be. He's actually meant to be an aardvark. No. No. No, I'm not doing that. Right. I can't handle it. Why would an aardvark also have pigs? Oh, why are we not? Yeah, also these weird like the little pigs doing that. Yeah, it says aardvark. Well, that has blown my mind. Also, we're an hour and a half into the stream. Welcome anyone who has joined as we've been going along. Doing a spot Painite Mining today. The news is that it still pays quite well, so figured we'd come and check it out. Do a spot of legit Painite Mining, see what goes on, see what happens, how many tons we can get, and then we can kind of look at the price and give us a bit of an idea. See what happens. If you haven't already and you do fancy it, and you want to hit the like button, please do. It does help me out on YouTube. It shows me to other people. Plus it helps train the YouTube algorithm and it will show you more of what you like as well. If you want. Alan, if you've lost a conflict zone for our faction, you're going to be in so much trouble. Oh, Delta V, good job. How long have you been out for? Doing all the jumping. Well, we're on mission accomplished. Right, Fabius, you say that, but I've got to ask the questions. Got to ask the big questions. Alright, Tom, take care, buddy. Remember Cities of Gold? Right, I get asked this a lot, and I don't think I do. It's really weird. Okay, so have you missed anything in the last 2 years? There's not been a huge difference, but recently fleet carriers have been added, so that you can purchase a personal fleet carrier for 5 billion credits, and that's actually quite easy to make that kind of money now. And you can go and well, jump around, do stuff, store your ships on it. You can jump at 500 light years at a time. It's pretty cool. That's alright. They've added that. I don't know what's been added in the last 2 years. When was engineering added? Oh no, you're putting up engineering. Keep which year it is in mind. But yeah, there's definitely, say, still plenty of gameplay. I think so. Oh, it's Burr. Great. There goes the neighbourhood. How you doing, Burr? And I hope your side channel Crime Bodge is doing alright. Right, does anyone remember there was a cartoon show about cars, right? And the cars had these little, or vehicles, had these little robot or AI computers screen things that the drivers would pick up and take out and put into different vehicles. Don't know if anyone remembers that. Can't remember what it was called. But yeah, that was it. I remember that one as being a kid. Pole position? God, there you go. Obviously, I really enjoyed Conan the Adventurer as well, and Pirates of Darkwater. They were good TV shows. Yeah, not bad.
Asteroid scan complete.
See, Alan, sounds to me like you've got a spare TV, so you're doing alright. Still remember the theme tune to Pole Position. See, I think I remember it as well. I feel like I remember it. It's there. It's like it's on the edge. It's just like just on the edge of my brain and my memory. Jamie's Magic Torch? No, not at all for me. That's a big old nope. Now, S&T, that had to have been CBBC and in the broom cupboard, right? With either Ed the Duck or Gordon the Bloody Gopher. With Andy Peters. Right? I feel like I'm really dating myself, like hardcore dating myself. But I have openly admitted that I turned 36 yesterday, so there is that. Jordan Sport Billy. Sport Billy? Puffin Street? Puffin Street, I think I remember Puffin Street. The Flashing Blade, no. Thanks, Blair. See how I casually dropped it in, just to remind everyone. It takes a lot of hard work to be that casual about these things. Brave Star! Yeah, Brave Star's fantastic. And the weird thing is that, so, I think as people know by now, Mrs. Plater is American. Now, she'd never heard of Brave Star. And yeah, there's a little bit of an age gap between us, like 5 years. Not huge. Never had a Brave Star. And I honestly would have expected her to have, because the main character is supposed to be a Native American sheriff with the power to take on different animals and different aspects of different animals and also had a robot horse that had a blunderbuss. Eyes of a hawk, ears of a fox, strength of a bear, speed of a puma. For some reason, speed of a puma. But yeah, that was great. It was a bit like, okay, but he'd ride around on a horse that was actually also a sentient being with a blunderbuss. Brilliant. Sci-fi western. Yeah, and Tex Hex was the name of the bad guy, who was he was a bit skeletal. You vaguely remember that being on TV when you got home from work. Oh god, is that because you're 60? Oh, top banter, my friend, top banter. I also quite like Defenders of the Earth. That was pretty good. Defenders of the Earth. Was it Flash Gordon and Defenders of the Earth? And Phantom 2040, where he would have the power of 10 tigers. There's also a Phantom movie that came out starring Billy Zane? Thomas, never. There's no base building planned in Elite currently. That is the bad news. But you can have a fleet carrier, which basically does the same thing, and you can move it. The thing is, I still like cartoons now. I like a good animation, a good animated series. I'm Phantom the Ghost Who Walks, yeah, awful, absolutely awful. Poddington Peas, down at the bottom of the garden, amongst the birds and the bees. Yeah. Manimal. I've not heard of Manimal. Now I've been watching an awful lot, and I do mean an awful lot, of the Gundam series. I'm on Gundam Zeta? Yeah, Gundam Zeta. And that's literally because I'm building the model kits at the moment as well. And I was like, I've got to know all about them. Manimal. Venture Bros, I don't know that one. We're going to realms that have stuff that I've not heard of now. Because I feel like when you used to watch a lot of cartoons, you watch them for a very short space of time. It's like only a few years. Like I also remember obviously Rock Lords, GoBots, and there's some other stuff in there. Also the 90s cartoon that was called Reboot, which is one of the first CG cartoons on British TV. Which is a bit of a big deal at the time. See, if you're going to turn into an animal, surely turning into a tiger is the absolute best. Like, for every occurrence. You need to climb a fence, better turn into a tiger. You know, you need to, you're under attack by someone, better turn into a tiger. Someone needs to be transported out somewhere, to turn into a tiger. I think it worked. Renan, really doubling down on that weed bit, aren't you? But yeah, things do. I feel like things being really good and really bad. It's a wonderful circle. I think it's not a straight line. It's a circle where if you flip over from being really good, it becomes bad, and if something's really bad, it becomes really good. You know, you got that little bit of a flip over where you drop off the bottom, and then you move on to the next one. Alright, Kuro, take care, man. So many options. Tiger Man. Nope. Sounds cool though. Hang on, you turned it. Burr Pit is COVID-19 confirmed. It's a bit weird. Wait, hang on, Burr, you're bringing up a really interesting thought in my head now. What would happen if you were to turn yourself into a virus, and then obviously then you start reproducing and spreading across the world, then you turn back into a human being, right? Does each one of you turn back into a human being at that point? Like, do you turn back into a human being whilst inside of other people? And suddenly, that where one person was, there's now just a bloody mess and loads of you standing there. Because that's messed up. I can't believe you would think of that. Yeah, many thoughts. Sometimes too many. I've not heard of Shadow Raiders. Galaxy Rangers I don't think I remember watching. Is there nothing wrong with us? Yeah, like Agent Smith in The Matrix. It would be weird, wouldn't it? Sounds like a scene from The Boys, which is coming back in September, isn't it? Season 2 is going to be back, which I love. I really like The Boys because I kind of feel like if I had all the powers of Superman, I'd probably take over the world. So, my wife and I have had a serious conversation about it. What I would do to take over the world. It'd be pretty. I would just be like, yeah, you've got to be nice to me though, Bear, because it'd probably mess you up, bro. Probably would mess you up. But yeah, the world would just tremble beneath my feet. I would run it as a dictatorship, to be honest. It would be awful for other people. I got fragments of Painite that are too far away still. But yeah, I just think if I had superpowers, I'd be a nightmare. I'd be unreasonable, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, see, Renan, that, a lot of that. I mean, who wouldn't? I have never seen My Hero Academia. I don't know anything about it. God Emperor of Mankind, I think, would be the correct term, Hashtag. And I know that sounds a little bit Warhammer 40k, but I'm okay with it. They came up with a really good name of it. A really good name for essentially the person that rules humankind. Be well up for it. It's like, Bukai, I didn't think that the Dark Wheel could expand. Bam 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 bam. General Patch, hey, how you doing? I think we're doing alright. We've just been talking about old cartoons today. Yeah, it's been good. Yeah, I wouldn't. Thing is that if you were immune to even nuclear weapons, right, as a superhero villain, I mean, would you not just do what you want anyway? I mean, you'd definitely lose a bit of yourself to morality, but then again, you would be, well, you'd be the literal definition of Ubermensch, wouldn't you? You'd be the, you know, the Superman with no confines of human morality. What one superpower? Youthful immortality. And it's very specific. But that's more of a philosophical debate, the whole Ubermensch thing. I'm not going to go into it. We know humanity is not ready yet. Yeah, Hashtag, you're right. Or actually, WeJet telekinesis is a really good shout, but only if we're talking like full-on Omega level, to the point where using only your brain, you could cause you'd be able to cause fires to happen. You'd be able to essentially carry out surgery on people with your mind brain. S&T, yeah, you're right. That's something that happened in the film Chronicle. They got telekinesis. And one of the things is when they went up and they were flying around, they made a point of making them wear full-on winter gear all the time, so they were fully wrapped up whilst flying around. Although they were too high, they would probably have gone... they would have suffocated as well, but... Hashtag, a lot of it depends. I think it would be... Life changes a hell of a lot. Like, the change would probably keep things interesting. I think that, because especially if you look at how things were 1,000 years ago to how things are now, just the comparison of how far things have come, technology-wise alone, I think that's a big thing to be considered. Yeah, S&T, that is the small problem. Bless you. But yeah, I think that whole kind of outliving the planet thing, yeah. But here's my thought, is that surely, with all the time in the world, knowing you have all the time, you would literally be able to drive humanity in a direction to ensure that... Oh, come on! What are these limpets doing? So yeah, maybe the limpet pathing isn't... No, I don't... No, okay, when I say immortality, I mean, like... You could still potentially die, but, like, the youthful immortality being that you wouldn't get sick and die. Maybe having the option for you to be like, actually, you know what, it's enough now. So you could opt out. Or you could choose to no longer be immortal and have the full life experience of choosing to... Freaky Deaky Dude, that was not a cat. That was my wife. Very different. If you could have any one power but only for a day, what would you choose and how do you use it? Super intelligence. Like, insane level intelligence. Like, omniscience we're talking about. And I would use that to write down the cures for every disease known to man. Then, once I've done that, I could then sell that for only a penny. Right? And I'd be set for life. I say only a penny because I need to get a little something. Don't need a lot. Just a little something. Weapon beak, you know. Get myself a sweet taste of it. Well, David, maybe I should have gone for the unfortunately there is no cure as such for death. It is the only inevitability in life. Oh, phenomenon. No, I was more thinking of Limitless. With old Bradders in. Because it'd be an absolute nightmare. But yeah, try and do something. Being super intelligent would be cool. Unfortunately, here's my issue is that I'm not stupid anyway. Like I'm not a stupid person, despite what people might think. I'm just bloody lazy. That's my problem. Is I'm really lazy. So there's that. No, see now, right. They have the ability to return to a juvenile state and refresh themselves. And yeah, it does come down to your telomeres and your cells, and they decrease in time, and you get DNA damage, and that's essentially that's what kills your DNA damage to your cells. And also, we are pre-programmed for our cells to die. Our cells are typically pre-programmed to die, which is one of the reasons why cancer happens, because that gene doesn't work properly. But yeah, it's complicated. Very complicated, but if you were to completely eliminate death, you'd have to eliminate birth at the same time. That's always something you have to consider, is that you can't have a constantly growing population of immortal people. Oh no, David, I actually am lazy. Sometimes I'd rather do nothing than doing something, and I was like, oh, hashtag, technically not taxes. There are some places that you don't pay tax. There are some countries that don't actually have tax. If I were all powerful, would I stay here or magic myself up my own spaceship? I would quite like to elevate humanity to the point where we're actually good to people and good to each other without getting political. Just where everyone's a decent person. If we get to that kind of moral point, I would uplift humanity as a community, and then we would, yeah, go from there. Think about the same way that the Solarians uplifted the Krogan. I do that for humanity. Colin, how many limpets do I have flying at a time? 9. Have 9. Can you imagine the devastation of humanity actually making to other planets? The thing is that I'd want to make it so that we knew better as well. That would be the thing, getting humanity off of... There is this thing about... humans are naturally built to be xenophobic, right? This is very much a... this is a survival, hardwired, dinosaur brain talk kind of thing that we have. And the reason for that being is that it's what helps you judge people on their initial expression and immediate distrust for things that are different from you. Now, humanity has to move past that in order to be better than what we are. To get to the point, say, for example, where we are in Elite Dangerous, we would have to move beyond segregation that we have, and I don't think it's going to be happening in my lifetime. I don't think it'll be happening in, you know, great-grandchildren's lifetime, but eventually we'd get there. That's where I'd want humanity to be, where everyone just loves each other and we're all happy. Not to love, but you know, don't hate people for any reason. It's the only thing that's holding humanity back, really. There are some things that are good for everyone, and there are some things that are good for no one. War, death, disease, it's not good for anyone. Free healthcare, food, and somewhere to live is good for everyone. And yeah, I know it gets a bit like, I'm talking about, we need to get to the point where with the Federation in Star Trek, that's what I'm talking about. That point, that kind of post greed. I'm not there, not at all. Am I talking about Elite Dangerous and Open Player Private? No, I'm not. I'm just talking about humanity and where we need to go as a species. Especially when you look at even in the Expanse, there has to be this huge, massive event that is meant to help tie humanity together, whether it be, you know, Belter, Martian, or Earther. They all kind of get pulled together, and it's like, ooh. Yeah, Kaizen, yeah, that's what I was saying. It was, but we've outgrown it. Our society has outgrown it. The same with the our technology has also gone further than our morals can. Yeah, that's what I would want. If I had, I don't know, magical, all-powerful powers, I'd do that to us. Yeah, Burr, you really don't like him. Which is a joke, by the way, people. David, I'm talking about the big stuff. Big stuff at the moment. Just struggling to find some painite here. I've hit this little bit of a gap. Yeah, hashtag. The thing is that technology has damaged us massively. It's this kind of our physical bodies have no evolutionary pressure, but our minds and personalities do, and really we should work on that. It's kind of understanding that there are things that humanity does need to shed and move on from. That's one of them. Fear of the unknown is another. There's some other stuff as well. I won't go into it. But yeah, if you, it's the Anakin. It's the, well, you know, what if people don't agree? Well, then make them agree. Yeah, let's do that. I'm not serious about that particular bit. Unless I had superpowers, in which case I would be. But yeah, any other big questions out there in life in the universe that you guys want me to set straight and fix? Right, anything else to do? Like, you know, if there's anything else, world hunger, share food, don't waste food. Next, I've got it all. That was a solid depletion. That was good. That was all about not running out. Marmite. Oh no. Chicken egg. Discuss. Well, here's the thing. The chicken had to hatch from an egg. The first chicken had to hatch from an egg. Due to evolution being a thing, it means that the egg did come before the chicken. There you go. That is pretty much the answer to that. That's my answer on that one. As long as you recognise evolution being a thing, then it's fine. Let's refine chicken or chicken egg. Okay. In that case, Vortex, technically, no, you can't. No, you can't do that. So, you'd have to. You've got to. There has to be a further refinement, I would say. Because I can guarantee you, whichever animal laid the first egg that produced a chicken did not know it was going to lay a chicken egg. That's weird, isn't it? Like, you sit on an egg. Oh, what do you think it's going to be? Well, boy or girl? Actually, I'm just really hoping it might be a chicken. And then suddenly, bam! It's chicken. Chris, tell me to draw something on the rocks. What am I going to draw? It's going to like a big old dick. Wait, what? What am I supposed to do? But the chicken hatched from an egg. So the thing is that if you refine a question down to the point where it doesn't make sense anymore, you get to a problem. That's pretty specific, Vortex. But, I mean, I don't think that the first chicken that hatched would have looked that particularly different from the proto-chicken that laid the egg. And do bear in mind that there are some potentials for us to go a bit Jurassic Park using ostrich eggs and editing embryos and all that kind of stuff. Like, the science is theoretically possible if you were to be able to do some really accurate gene editing, but very, very difficult. Right, so Proto-Animal X lays an egg that turns out to contain a mutation of Proto-X that is the chicken. Yes, exactly that. Yeah, sure. Also, what's chicken? And no, but everything doesn't taste like chicken. That drives me insane. Only chicken tastes like chicken. Only a chicken tastes like chicken. That's it. There is no... No. It doesn't. And if you think everything tastes like chicken, either you've never had chicken, or you don't have taste buds. But that's believable. So why did you call it a chicken? Even alligators taste like chicken. Well, I've eaten crocodile, and I don't think that tasted like chicken at all. It was like this really weird combination of fish and chicken at the same time. But yeah, crocodile's a weird one. Yeah, Alan, that is the thing. But yeah, like I say, I mean, having eaten lots of different animals, I can tell you what doesn't taste very nice though. Camel. Camel's not good. Yeah, not great. I mean, here, I don't think anything can be a mistake of nature. I mean, I do actually often say that pandas are an evolutionary mess up because they just won't do it. They just won't do it, will they? Not good. How did egg laying evolve? Well, the same way everything evolves from something else that was a bit like it before it. Fish laid eggs. Insects laid eggs. Goes on, doesn't it? But yeah, camel I wasn't a fan of. If I'm honest. Crocodile was fine. I ate that in Hemel Hempstead. Yeah, but it could be the zoos telling them off. Potentially. But also there's the fact that they just won't. Like also with pandas, for example, their digestive tract is perfectly capable of processing meat. Because they're a bear. And they can. So evolutionary wise, pandas are able to eat meat. They just don't. That's it. They just don't. But Freaky Deaky Dude, I'm sorry, man. I can't touch that joke. I can't do it. Kangaroo's alright. Actually, ostrich burger's good. Ostrich is good. I mean, there's loads of stuff out there. Like lots of meat tastes good. And you think about it, kangaroos are actually pretty much vermin in Australia as well. So I have a friend who he used to go out roo shooting. That was his thing. He's like, yeah, go out shoot some roes. Like, no, don't say that. I was like, you're really fitting into a stereotype. Often now, I wasn't a fan of it. That's what I said. So I could eat it. I didn't find it disgusting. I just wasn't a fan. Ostrich ham. Saffron, is mining worth it? Yeah, it'll make you money. It'll definitely make you money. So that's the old answer for that one. Painite seems it's fine. It's just pretty chilled out and relaxing, to be honest. That's more why I'm doing it. I'm up to 360 tons, and I'm going to be able to sell this currently for 790,000 per ton at a station. But I'm going to be keeping hold of it on my carrier, and then I am going to be wait. I could have sworn I actually scanned this rock. Did I not prospect this rock? No, I didn't. I'm just going to stay away from it. Move on. So yeah, mining is definitely worth it. It's currently the best money maker. Unfortunately, it's the only money maker. Okay. Fermented Greenland shark. Right. That's an interesting one because a lot of what we like to eat food-wise yeah, I'm not really bothered by the landing lights and the warning lights. I know other people might be, but I'm not. So that's a lot of what people like to eat is cultural, and what you're brought up eating. And it's they used to, but they don't do that anymore. They don't pee on the shark anymore. It's changed. They use man-made alternatives for it, and it's changed a lot. over the years, obviously. But yeah, what you like to eat is different. So, for example, my wife isn't a huge fan of fish at all. Okay, now I am. I love seafood. Now she grew up somewhere where you couldn't really get fresh fish in the States, very much, you know, very much kind of like doing what she's doing, living where she's living, none of that. But being in the UK, Ireland, plenty of fish. I like fish. So I think a lot of it's like that. The same with like, she'd never really eaten curry before because it isn't that common where she's from. Same thing. Oh, let's have a little bit of a rotate. I think. But yeah, I think there's a lot of that when it comes to food. Oh, look at these collect limpets. I should not be losing this many limpets, that's for sure. What minerals price should have to buff? No, nothing else needs buffing. It's cool. We're mining what we're mining. That's cool. Anything should be buffed. It needs to be. It needs to be combat needs improving, balancing. That's it. Filmo, you're saying anyone experienced any issues on ED where when using in-game menu no selections work, can't even get into the options, making selections in the galaxy map also take you back to the options menu, frustrating. Yeah. Yeah, actually, I think curry is the UK's national dish. Like korma invented in the UK, stuff like that. So combat buff, yeah, that's it. Then I know you really want me to answer what gets buffed. I don't know. I'd probably need a better example of. Okay, collect limpet. That was interesting. Where am I sat? Am I like... I'm nowhere near any other rocks. Like I shouldn't be losing collect limpets. Right, so David's really pushing me for something that needs buffing. I need to look into lore more and work out what an expensive commodity would really be. Yeah, that's the reason why for that, Kai, is due to colonialism. Is literally that. Colonialism in the UK and colonising India. We got great curry, they got cricket and violence. So yeah, it's but that really. But I'm a huge fan of curry, Indian food. When I was on chemotherapy, for me, that was the thing that I wanted all of the time. Like anything with a good, strong flavour that would like totally overpower the horrific grey mouth taste that you get. But yeah, really good curry is always like that. I really like rice. I'm a big fan of rice. But something I found strange is, like, say for example, if you have Chinese food, and this is like again, your Westernized Chinese food, had some in the States, and it was all very, very different to what we have here, like completely different. Like completely different. It was really interesting. Don't know if good. A lot of MSG, which we don't have in food here in the UK anymore. So, and Filmo, it's going to sound daft, but have you tried tapping your Alt keys, your function keys, and your control keys just to make sure they're not stuck in any way? Because that might cause a problem. It doesn't sound like it would be a huge problem, but it might cause an issue with that filmo, as an idea. Zach, chip and cheese roti with curry mutton gravy. That is oddly specific and an interesting combination of stuff. Alright, Hashtag, take care, buddy. Thank you for dropping in. But yeah, that's what I can think that would be for me. Give it a go, see what happens. Because it might be something where it's causing an alternative function to happen in game. Alan, that is totally relatable. We have that with Amazon because we've got Amazon Prime membership, and order something and it won't turn up, and the reason is because the driver's thick and doesn't know how to read a map, and they couldn't find our flat, and we get deliveries all the time. I think that's a pretty common thing to happen. Quick mention, normally in 2 hours you get about 400, no, well, almost nearing 500 tons of low temperature diamonds at the moment. I have not. So this is actually not that great at all. Super Derp Pig, hey, how you doing? That's a name. Yeah, I've not done that great, I don't think, for making money. I also would have expected to have seen, just by blind luck, me selecting rocks, to have seen more subsurface deposits. But I don't know if subsurface deposits have been well and truly buffed overall, or just in icy rings because of tritium. And by extension, going on to low temperature diamonds. Yeah, Vortex, it is legit. Often tired, yeah, it could be that. And also, you got to remember is that it's a different palate. Like everything in America, food-wise, is typically a lot sweeter and a lot saltier to someone with a British palate. And even my wife has noticed it from going back home after being here for a few years. You know, you go back home for a little visit, and then everything tastes different. So you taste stuff and it's like, oh, some of it's really good, but then you have it and it's not quite, or you have too much of it and you're like, oh, actually I think I've had enough now, I could do with something a little less salty. You get to that point. I know I do, because everything does taste different. Colin, so the plan's deployed as things stand. We are in a very, very busy corner of the galaxy. Our ideal situation is to continue what we keep doing, which is to consolidate our wins, consolidate our systems, and ensure that we do have full ownership over properties and assets there, so that we don't leave ourselves open to attack in any way or being messed with. We're at a point where, when we do expand, especially after the update, the ridiculous gains in the BGS caused an unplanned expansion for us, and we are expanding, and it was going to be into a system that we don't really want to be in. We're just going to simply quietly bow out and be like, it's cool, we don't want to be here, we don't want to mess with anyone else. Would rather not mess around too much. That's kind of the gist of it. The public statement. The private one is, of course, we take over the universe. I'm not stuffing with the galaxy. We're going further. But yeah, it's more of a try not to have more than you can handle. We did our initial land grab when we got put in, which was the right thing to do, and we did very well from it. And yeah, we're just going to stay as we are, I think. Yeah, at the moment we've got neighbours who take parcels in for us, and we want to keep it that way. Let's not go peeing on their doorsteps. That kind of thing. Plus, I think we have everything we could possibly need in our systems. Any more, we would begin to start to struggle to handle. You get to that kind of point, and then you start to suffer for it, and you lose out. Like a war comes up that's unexpected, and you're going to lose it because you're already fighting to other places. You don't want to be doing that. It's the kind of the hallmark of a poorly run faction. But there are lots of factions out there, and what they do is they hit the perma expansion button, where they just constantly run influence for their faction in their home system, and expand and expand and expand, and keep doing that. And then don't really do anything in the systems they go into. I don't really want us to be in a system that we don't control. So that's always my thoughts on it. I don't really want to. Deployed does not share power. Right, and Prospector. Oh no, that was junk. There we go. Yeah, don't have to have 2 dial codes. That'd be ridiculous, wouldn't it? But that is a wonderful thing, Alan, actually. That's something I noticed about a lot of people, is you can tell they've never lived somewhere apart from their hometown when they give a landline number and they don't give the area code. Which is an odd thing. Because I've lived all over the UK, so I say all over. Different places. How far are we? How much we got? 410. Okay. It's kind of thinking that if I'd done even laser mining for LTDs, I mean after about 2 hours, I'd probably have a fairly similar amount. Yeah, Alan, it's a weird one, that, isn't it? When you can... I mean, I don't know if I can remember any of them. But I always remember when my dad used to answer the phone when I was a kid, he would say the telephone number back. It was a bit of a weird one. When you think about it, it's an odd thing to do because someone has... It was definitely a thing that you did in the time. But you'd say, you'd be like, hello, say the number. And then there was actually a number of people that were like, oh, sorry, wrong number. I didn't realise I called the wrong number because you said it out loud. So I guess that would make sense. A bit of phone etiquette. Yeah, I don't remember any mobile numbers off the top of my head, though, apart from my own. So that's good. Because I guess you give it out, don't you? So you remember your own number. You have to write it down quite a bit. Yeah, technology has spoiled us. Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, Alan. Someone out there has a phone number and it's just 1. I still get the not prank callers. I get the junk phone calls, and I love having a good argument. I stopped getting PPI calls eventually, which was wicked, because I used to work for a bank. I've worked for 2 banks in my career. Actually 3. Bloody hell. I've worked for 3 different banks during my career, and each one of them has involved some form of sales and some form of insurance, and I used to sell insurance, including payment protection insurance, to people that needed it and knew they were getting it. Very important. And I've had someone call up and be like, "Oh, we're calling because we can see from my records you've had PPI," and I'm like, "No, I haven't." They're like, "Well, we have loads of people that know they haven't had it," and I'm like, "No, I definitely haven't had it." And they're like, "Well, how you don't know?" I was like, "No, I definitely do know." And I was like, "Tell you why I know. It's because I used to work for a bank and I did it all myself, and so I know I didn't do it. I didn't give it to myself." And I had an argument with someone, and they were being really, really rude to me about it. And I was like, "You're literally phoning me up and calling me stupid and saying that I don't know what I'm doing in life. I'm not having that." And had an argument with them, and I do like it. I do love a good argument with stuff like that. Although just saying no thank you very politely is fine, I also love being argumentative, so there's that. Oh god, hello, is Mr. Wall there? Is Mrs. Wall there? Are any of the walls there? Then what's holding up the house? Fantastic. It gets all a bit Bart Simpson prank call, doesn't it? Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah, Alan, spot on with that one. It's when they get something really wrong. Yeah, I'm calling about the accident you had whilst driving. I don't drive. Oh, is anyone in your house that has? Well, that's not a great start. I've also had ones where I've called up. People have called. I've answered it, and they've gone and they've said my name wrong. Or they've bumbled their way through it, and I'm like, well, that's a bad start. What do you want? And they just hang up. Having worked in a call centre, having managed a team of call centre agents, if you can't say someone's name right, if you haven't practiced it before you call them, you've got a problem. I always think that when you call someone, your intro should be absolutely nailed. You need to absolutely nail it. You should know what you're saying before you call someone. You like getting calls from invalid number? How does that even work? Now, I always go on the website that tells you who's called you if you get a strange number. Oh, Kai, never doing that. William, your power's restored. Nice! About damn time. Yeah, Timothy, you gotta get your chill on. It's finally cool here in the UK as well, where I am. Had some rain, and it's like proper chilled things off. It's nice. No, David, that can't be right. That can't be genuine. But yeah, Kai, I've had someone try and do that to me, and they call up to ask questions, and they would start asking me questions. I'm like, no, you're calling me. You tell me this. Yeah, 5 hours without power is too long. Is your freezer food okay? Did you make sure you kept your freezer shut? Or stuff like that. That's always my concerns, because we had after I had my surgery, which is now actually pretty much 2 years ago. The power kept cutting out around about 8:30 every evening for about a week, for a few hours, and it was because the cable was damaged just outside in the street, and the obviously the power usage would go up too much, and then boom, it would cut out. Hunter, yeah, mentioning the heat, I will mention it. That must have been really horrible for you, mate. I would not have been a fan, but I did order a home air conditioning, like a mini air conditioner, today off the interwebs, which should hopefully fix our being too hot all the time thing, and not having to have a fan. So rather than having a fan, we'll have the little conditioner. Mention it every time you're full mining lasers and small destroy make you overheat. Oh, I'm overheating. Alright, let's move on to the next rock. Whatever I'm drinking, please switch to coffee. Why would I switch to coffee? Why would I do that? There needs to be a good reason for that. Also, it does give me savage heartburn. I don't get on very well with coffee, unfortunately. English, I do the same thing. Same thing. No, see, no coffee. Right. So, what it is that having a cold drink doesn't necessarily cool you down long term, because obviously it's your internal body temperature that makes a difference. So your body regulates it really well. So you have a cold drink, it cools you down internally briefly, so your body doesn't necessarily react to the heat as well as it should do. But having like a warm drink, then it will. But the thing about coffee is because the caffeine content in it, then it will push things the other way. So it'll your body will want to cool down even more. So it'll help you cool down even more. So there's that. But I really don't like warm drinks. But that's me, being weird. Oh yeah, and the fact that it's diuretic as well, which means that it makes you pee and dehydrates you, which you don't really want when you're already hot and sweaty. So all in all, I will not be having coffee. My cat's being tormented by crows. They're out there just having a go at him. Actually, I've been quite enjoying. I've been having lemon squash with an entire tray of ice cubes in it. Been great. And ice lollies. Gotta have an ice lolly, which really helps with the sickness caused by my medication. So all in all, it works out right. Gin and tonic. Yeah, it's a bit different, isn't it? Warning, taking heat damage. That is literally it. Twisters. Ah, been having the budget, proper budget ones. You know the round cheese fruit pastel lollies? Budget them. Not my preference. I do prefer like individual flavours of things. But hey, when you're having food and drinks delivered, you kind of got to take what they deliver. Is that rock any good? No. Is Alan, you're saying a pint of offshore? Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't really hide in a fridge, but it must be quite nice. We used to have that with server rooms. So Snapper, you think that Mrs. Plater should be the voice of the T-Sols fleet carriers? Interesting. I mean, you'd be more inclined to listen, that's for sure. Speaking of which, I'm going to name and not half name and shame someone about the fleet carrier announcement voices. I've seen it. Someone raise a bug report, which really bothers me a lot because there are bugs in Elite Dangerous. This is not one of them. Where they were complaining about one of the ATC Covasses saying "07 Commander," and them complaining that that's a bug and it shouldn't be happening. And I'm just like, oh, come on. That's what you choose to complain about? That was the thing. Yeah, Alan, the 07 report. It's just, come on, dude. Of all the things to complain about and get triggered by, that. I mean, I don't think anyone should say. I don't think you should say 07 because it's a bit odd. Yeah, Dr. Digital, that's literally the complaint, technically. Someone reported the fact that one of the ATCs says oh 07. It's just sometimes just like, oh boy. Oh boy. This is happening. This is what we're having a whinge about. Okay. Sure, you know, I'll have this one. It's 19%. Alan, that's kind of fair. See, 007 Commander. Oh yeah, that's good. But yeah, I think it's the is it Blaine? That ATC? I mean, I've got no issue to it. Not at all. I was like, alright. But then again, I've got a station with my voice, so I guess I think it's fine anyway. I think it's cool. I like things that are different and individual. I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing to do and have. But hey, and that's just me. Oh, blimey, we are drifting right towards that rock. Do some stations say 07? I've just never heard them. Like, to be honest, the 07 thing, it was like I didn't want to look like a noob when I first saw people saying it and I had to go and Google it. That's good. I was like, right, okay, do you not look like a noob? Do you not look like a noob? Do you not look like a noob? What is that? What is that? And then you say it. But yeah, I've never had a station say it. I have to keep my ears open. Yeah, carriers do say 07 sometimes. But yeah, apparently someone raised a bug report about it on the issue tracker. But yeah, I'm not going to say the name or show the post on stream. Because I don't want anyone to pick on anyone. But I do kind of want to find the... Oh, hey Narith, how you doing? I do... Oh, someone said... Right, someone said, I don't think this should be reported on the issue tracker. Please use the forum for suggestions. And this is from another person. And then someone else said, please give me the commander name of the OP so I can hunt him down and kill him with extreme prejudice for this heresy. Okay. Alan, no, and it hasn't been for quite a while, mate. It's gone and gone. Narith, I'm doing alright, mate. I'm doing alright. I'm doing a spot of Painite Mining. Old school laser Painite Mining. There's a bit of a chilled out alternative to focusing on low temperature diamonds. But this system is actually pretty full of carriers still. But yeah, not much going on. But yeah, Vortex, interesting noises. We've got sirens, birds, traffic. Clive is being absolutely tormented by the birds that are outside. Because they know that he can't get out. And they really, and I mean really pick on our neighbour's cat too. Yeah, the voice is doing alright today. It's starting to get a bit tired now, because we're coming on close to 3 hours. But yeah, it's side effects from meds have kind of eased off slightly. Last week they were real bad, like really, really bad. My guts were all over the place, and my voice was a bit croaky. It's a very odd one because it doesn't matter what I do, if I eat anything in particular or if I overdo it. The day after, it's just however it's going to be. Alan, again, yeah, there is no fleet carrier equivalent as such. There's really nothing you can do to mess with the carrier owner. The only thing you really do is have another carrier if they're buying or selling stuff in their system and just come and undercut them. Dr. Digital, it changes my voice by it. So the type of drug that I'm on it's called it's a multispectrum kinase inhibitor. So what it does is it slows down tissue repair in soft tissue, and it prevents cancer cells. That's the idea. It prevents them from dividing by cutting off their blood supply, and that's kind of what they do. So it binds to certain receptors on the cell membrane and stops it from reproducing. But what it does at the same time, it can affect soft tissues. So that's like the inside of my mouth, my throat, and also my guts as well. So my guts, my intestines, and that can upset my stomach. Well, you know what I mean. Leave me some gastric distress similar to IBS. So yeah, it's a funny one, but I mean it is working, or has been working. I've got a scan on Wednesday, and then I've got 2 weeks, and then I find out the results from that, where we're kind of all hoping that it's continued to work. Obvs. Or something better. But what it does is it stops new blood supply from growing. That's what it does. So rather than it reducing blood flow, but it does mean that some things heal slower. Like, if you cut yourself, for example, it'll take you a little bit longer for a cut to heal. Same way, if you were to have surgery or some major dental work done, you'd have to stop being on this for 2 weeks for it to be fully out of your system. But I mean, I can tell you for a fact that when I have like a week off of it, I'm like a completely different person. I've got so much more energy, and everything feels so much better. It's mental. It's insane that something can make you feel so crap so quickly, but then you can bounce back from it even quicker. Yeah, it's an interesting idea of doing it. It's a good alternative to chemotherapy, far less invasive and damaging, and a possible long-term treatment as well. There are people that have been on this stuff for months and months and months and months. I'm at the point where I've been on it for 6 months now, six and a half months. You couldn't be on chemo this long. You'd be in all kinds of problems and distress. You'd be very damaged. So yeah. Actually, we're launching the drones. Get rid of them. Oh, we're missing. Okay, almost maxed out on Painite, which is great. So Alan, you can't afford a carrier to mess with other people's carriers. It's rubbish. Alright, well I guess we're just going to get the hoppers filled now. Look at that, low temperature diamonds. What have I been mining? Get rid of that. No prospectors vortex. No prospectors had issues with. I did have issues with some suicidal collectors though. That was rather annoying. Because I was under the impression that shouldn't happen anymore. Alan, how many scouts... Oh, do you mean when you say scout? What type of scout? Asp scout? Diamondback scout? Because you shouldn't be using any of them. I'll tell you off for that. You say buy a crate or a chieftain, what are you doing that? Max Sam 6, hello, how you doing? Right, let's go and dump all of this into my carrier. No, no prospectors. Haven't lost any. Battle cat, there it is. Get ourselves over. Max, I'm doing fine. Doing alright. Just taking 512 tons of painite back to the carrier. But yeah, I didn't lose any prospectors at all this session. Just had my collectors doing the usual stuff. So yeah, drop them off. We did talk about having a look at subsurface displacement for Painite. I'm probably not going to do that on this stream because I feel like it took me longer to get filled up than I was actually expecting. We are on the other side of the planet, aren't we? Hang on. The meaty pickle butt. Oh, that's a vile sounding idea. And it just selects a different carrier, not mine. Wonderful. Max Sam, it's an alternative to low temperature diamond stuff. It doesn't pay quite as much, I don't think. It's always one of these things where, because I get all the videos pop up in my in my suggestions feed, and it's the this is how much you get for it. You know, you can get 340 million per hour by doing mining on Painite. No, you can't. You literally cannot. So I've been streaming for what, 3 hours? Call it 3 hours, and I've got 512 tons of Painite. Whilst not going super hard at it, I didn't mess around either. The max sale price is 792,000. That's not 340. The same way that the 500 million per hour that was reported with the subsurface displacement, which has now been corrected and rebalanced, again, not achievable. It drives me insane. As someone who has published money-making videos, I think that you actually have to show it, and I feel like it's not always getting shown, or it's a very unique set of circumstances for it to happen. Kent, were you... What was it, subsurface for Painite or low temperature diamonds? Oh look. Wonderful. About to be pirated in system. This, I can't put... My carrier's right there. Ugh. Come on. Low temperature diamonds. Ah, okay. Yeah, I was going to try and test out Painite at some point. This is not good. This is bad. This is really bad. I think we're going to submit. Yeah. We should be able to get away from him. Yeah, Roth.
Temperature critical.
I mean, Diamondback Explorer does have a large hardpoint on it. It could potentially pack a punch. But yeah, this is a good thing I had shields. Of course, if he drops in now, he is more than welcome to okay. He'd be more than welcome to try and attack me at my own carrier. Let's turn off night vision because it's making my carrier look ugly as sin. Anyone got a favourite landing pad on their carrier yet? But yeah, I do feel a bit of a don having a carrier though. Like, sure, other people have got them, but that doesn't take away from the fact I've got one. I'm like, oh yeah. I also want to know if Pad 07's been fixed yet. Let's see what we got going on. I do think the... Oh, I've got some low temperature diamonds here as well. Okay. Huh. Well, it's more that whether it's the right colour. It's got kind of like a... I feel like it's a little bit of a... what's what I'm looking for? Easter egg. You know, the 07 would be the wrong colour. I felt that's how it'd be. So actually, I'm doing alright. So I've got 1,000 tons of tritium just kicking around. And I've got 500 tons of low temperature diamonds and 500 tons of painite. I mean, it's a lot of money there, really. So yeah, what we're going to do is we'll prep this for the next stream to give it a test, I think. Yeah, use the vengeance. Don't think this is going to need any tweaking. But yeah, this is going to be my subsurface mining ship. Because I haven't got around to making a corvette, a subsurface mining corvette. Subsurface, exploration, good. Optionals, cargo racks, detailed surface scanner, good. Prospect limpet, collect limpet controllers. Nice. So yeah, that's going to be prepped and good to go. Wait, Vortex, can we not? Really? So, you're going to tell me that when we go into the commodity trading, and we choose something that we want to sell, so like tritium, do sell, trade this commodity, you can, yeah, you're right. That's interesting. Freaky dude, alright man, catch you later. Thanks for dropping in. Well, Vortex, that's interesting. Because what if I don't want to sell all of my tritium? If I wanted to keep, you know, I had a full hold of 10,000. or like Hunter here with his 12k, he was like, actually, I might sell half of that off. You can't. You'll sell all of it. But I suppose you'd have to limit that by the amount of money in your carrier. I suppose you could... It's interesting. Like, I can only assume that what you'd have to do is, in the budget tab, you would change your weekly upkeep allocation instead. Yeah, interesting. That's a good spot. That's a good spot, Vortex. I'm thinking of replacing everyone I've got as well. Just mix things up. I don't know about getting ones from Leonardo. It's a bit much, isn't it? Right, I am going to call time for the stream there, though, guys. It's been 3 hours, so I do appreciate everyone coming and hanging out. Taking another little look at Painite Mining to see if it's any good or how much money we can make with it. So even if we sold those 512 tons that I have got, I guess I've got to do the old finishing off, haven't I? So it's 512, and then we times that by our 792,000. That'd be 405 mil, which isn't bad. I mean, that's not bad for a couple of hours, is it? So, not bad. But okay, guys, I am going to say, once again, thank you very much for watching. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out on YouTube. Also, subscribe on YouTube and follow on Twitch if you have not done already. And I will hopefully see you all soon. But once again, thank you very much for watching. Commander Plater, out.